So we are entering Torah of Kook post Shavuot, and what we were learning in preparation for Shavuot, it may not be appropriate to continue at this point, and we can discuss that. But in every case, today I wanted to look at something very special. I remember when I first came back to Jerusalem 12, 13 years ago, where I was living in the Katamon area, but right away people, my friends, Rabbi Joe, Schoenwald, most of my friends always introduced me to Ruchi, we called it there, who lived down the street. And Ruchi was someone who had an extraordinarily deep interest in Torah of Kook. But her family background was that her father was a Shalom Alecha James. And that's all right. So let's Nathan L is also there. Good. So please say hello if you haven't said hello yet, so we can just also see that you can hear me and hear us and see us, and you can even say a mute hello. And Netanel, I'm assuming you can. So I want to honor the work today.
Hello, hello.
Shalom, shalom. Perfect. That's so much better to hear your
Sorry,
voice.
Rabbi, I'm here. Shalom.
So here is an extraordinary collection of Torah Rav Kook. It's 100 pieces, thematically presented and translated Hebrew, English, and it was written by Rachel Tova Ebner. And I met, all our friends called her Ruchi, when I came back to Jerusalem 12, 13 years ago. And her father, Zichrono Livracha, was a professor at Yeshiva University, close to Rav Soloveitchik, and her husband was also a Yeshiva University rabbi, professor, and she was a highly educated Jewish person who had at some point through her own life journey discovered the Torah of Rav Kook and got really deeply engaged with it. And even as she was going through difficult things like cancer and things, in terms of it, it was really a source of, she really tapped into the inspirational part of Torah Rav Kook. And also because of her level of scholarship, she could, and sense of poetry, she could extraordinarily appreciate his writing. And so then at a certain point, she got involved in translating it and has been working on this presentation for some time. And finally, these are the first copies. I got a copy for Beit Rav Kook and for myself here to have a Beit Rav Kook and to learn here at Beit Rav Kook. And it'll, details of how to get it will, but it's what you'll see it. I want to just enter. I took photographs of the beginning, the first couple of pieces, the middle pieces, and the last piece as a way of a survey. And I think we should be able to do them, and you'll get a sense of how special this is. Okay, hold on. Sure. Here is its cover, The Torah of Tomorrow, one song, teachings of Rabbi Avram Yitzchak Cohen Kook, Hebrew and English, translated by Rachel Tova Ebner at 120 at least. And this is the first piece that she translates. And what I've tried to do is I put out in her book, the Hebrew and the English are facing each other. You can have them on the same page. For our purposes, well, yeah, I can show you. Here is the English. And here is the Hebrew, which I think, but here you see, here's the Hebrew, and the piece we're doing it, and there's the English. So they're presented side by side. And but for today, I want to have the English on one screen. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So this is the first piece. And here it is in Hebrew, and I'm just going to switch those two screens. La'et kazot, כשתחייה האומה מתעוררת, just in time, for a time like this, like right now, he's writing this in the early 1900s, והיא בכל יום יוצאת מן הכוח אל הפועל בגוונים שונים, and this rebirth of the nation of Israel is awakening and becoming actualized in a variety of colorfully diverse ways every day. וכל העולם כולו הולך ורועש ברעש מלחמה. While the whole entire earth is quaking in a tumultuous war. He's writing this during World War I. שמגמתה הנסתרת, that whose hidden overall objective of this tumultuous war is, it's hidden. אשר רק לאלוהים פתרונים, although God knows only God knows the true meaning of each event, היא בוודאי העמדת תיקון עולם במלכות שדי. All these events are for certain whose the hidden overall objective of all the events in the world is to inaugurate repair of the world through the awakening consciousness of God's kingship, through the return of the Jewish people to their stronghold. על ידי שיבתם של ישראל לביצרון. Welcome to modern history. להיות עם נכון ונישא, so we become an established nation and an exalted one, מאותר בכל כוחותיו וסגולותיו, crowned with all its powers and special qualities, שעל ידה יאיר האור המבהיק, that through this return, as we become an established nation, crowned with all its powers and special qualities, through this, the radiant light will shine forth. Ha'or ha'elohi, the divine light, sheyitgale bekol orchot achaim, which will become visible on all the paths of life, bechayei kol chai, in the life of every living thing, bechol sidrei hatevel, and in all the organizing systems of the inhabited earth, b'mishtarei ha'amim, in the regimes of the nations, ובמהלכי הרוח אשר לאדם בכלל, and in all the spiritual journeys of humankind in general. Everything that's happening right now in history is in order to bring about the repair of the world through the awakening consciousness of Hashem Melech, God's kingship, through the return of the Jewish people to their stronghold to become an established nation, an exalted one, crowned with all its powers and special qualities. And through this, the radiant light will shine forth, the divine light, and it'll become visible on all the paths of life in planet Earth. We're not talking about only in Israel. Become visible on all paths of life and the life of every living thing and the organizing systems of the inhabited earth and the regimes of nations and the spiritual journeys of humankind in general. That's, you understand what a huge statement that is. Gam צבאות מרומים הולכים הם ומתתקנים. And as this is going on, the hosts of heaven are also recovering from the dark calamities of the temple's destruction. Tzvaot meromim, the heavenly realms are coming and being repaired, michoshchei churban, from the darkness of the destruction, ume'asrei hashchina, be'ma'amakei galuta, and the bonds that are restraining the Shekhinah in her abysmal exile are becoming looser. השלשלאות אשר רגליו של משיח אסורות בהן, the chains that the legs of Mashiach are trapped in, imprisoned in, הולכות ומשתברות, are breaking. מתפרקות ונעשות כנוראה לפני אש. The chains shackling Mashiach's legs are shattering. They are breaking up, disintegrating into nothing, like tow near a fire. I guess tow is something that's easily flammable, like fine strands of flax passing between blazing flames. There's nothing more easily released. And now he brings it into our time and place. אף על פי שהתחייה הלאומית בישראל, even though, despite the fact that the national rebirth in Israel וסימני תחיית הרוח של האדם הכללי, and the signs of the spiritual renaissance of humanity in general, despite the fact that the national rebirth in Israel and the signs of the spiritual renaissance of humanity in general are visible.
Head northeast toward Navha Kula Street.
Are visible only in their external embodied aspects. These are themselves the messengers bearing the good news that the spiritual structure and the life of the higher soul in all her sequential stages is also right now getting built. So it's happening historically. I'm just going to read the English for these pieces, and they're just try to please. I hope you're able to follow along, and you can appreciate what an extraordinary work of art and intellect this is. While we see changes on the outside, we have to understand that on the inside, the light of the higher soul is getting built, and the light of heavenly liberation is being revealed more and more in its myriad waves of glistening gold. The time has come for every thinker of thoughts, everyone who wonders, everyone who interprets meaning, and everyone in whom the Spirit of God stirs to approach the desire for an experience of Ruach HaKodesh, which enters a person and floods him, through engagement with the secrets of Torah at the proper depth, with freedom of spirit, with insight and blessing, with contemplation of greatness, and with service, avodah, that has been purified, elevated, and aimed high. And this heightening of holiness is revealed to especially sensitized individuals, people that have a sense for this. Oh, good. Now I can see more faces. I didn't have a thing because I really have to. I hope you do appreciate this. Is Ruchi. It's such a beautiful fusion of accurate translation with catching the floating poetry. So let's just keep going. This heightening of holiness is revealed to especially sensitized individuals and anyone who sees in some aspect of our own spirit any sign, even a faint one, in response to this joyful news of holiness. Each of us must work up our courage to tune in on the secret murmurings on high, to rise above the spiritual thinking of the human mind, which is limited and crude, and to come for a stroll into spaciousness, into garden beds planted with the sweet smelling spices of the highest holiness, which are constantly perfumed by a radiant breeze of hidden holy things and the scent of the goodness of the Mashiach of El Yaakov. Tend your ear and come unto me. Come, listen, and let your soul come to life. You see that at the end? Hetu oznechem, turn your ears to Lechu elai, come towards me. Shimu, and you will hear. V'techi nafshechem, and your soul will come to life. So I really want to bless us that we're able to tune in to the secret murmurings on high and to raise beyond the limited thinking and come for, have a stroll in Gan Eden, a stroll into spaciousness, into garden beds planted with the sweet smelling spices of the highest holiness, perfumed by a radiant breeze of hidden holy things, and the scent of the goodness of the Tov that will come, the Mashiach Elokei Yaakov. And Baruch Hashem, it's right there. We just need to open our ears, and this is what's here for us. Okay, so that was the first piece. Now, the second piece, if we're just doing the English, the second piece is because she chose this order for a particular reason, and she explains in the Hakdama. I can't recommend this book enough. Also because it has the Hebrew English beside it, and Ruchi comes from a huge, deep. You don't get to Chavrusas with Rav Soloveitchik without having some depth. So here we go. So this second one is, she calls it dissolution. You see the words there? It might be dissolution of today's Judaism. The dissolution of today's Judaism. And it's written in those in Orot HaKodesh and in the Shmonet Vatzim, and she shows where. All right, let's read about the dissolution of today's Judaism. In matters of holiness and faith, doing away with contents that have become dryly routine according to their prior explanation, but doing away with that causes beneficial newness in this world. And through this process, the content of holiness and the clarity of God knowing becomes activated full force. This happens through two characteristics in the nature of change, which comes about through negation. You know, something is negated if there's a change, which is like the rotting of a seed's cover that precedes the seed's growth into new fruitfulness, which yields abundant harvests. One characteristic is that the rot liberates the life force, which is hidden in the compressed pinpoint of the tiny volume of the seed. And then this tiny force emerges in all its freedom and gives birth to glorious fruitfulness. The second characteristic of change is that the prior dissolution of the outer form yields unblocked, like free space for the innovation of a new, much improved form. A new, much improved form, which with no need to suffer from the deficiencies that built up in the old form. You don't have to keep on suffering with it. You can just go on to the better. And then, through this type of change, there only remains the influence of the higher aspects of the first form, which are then passed on as an inheritance for all generations. That's the way, that's what change is about, improvement. And something similar happens with the light of holiness, because for the sake of transplanting the vineyard of the house of Israel into the land of Israel in a way that the light of true prophecy returns as a special property of the nation. For that to happen, it is necessary for the customary values in their formal form as they have been kept since the period of the interruption of the prophecy. He's talking about the rabbinic period. Once we left Israel, we lost prophecy, and we put everything in the Talmud Bavli, and our religion became the Talmud Bavli, all that. As they've been, so that we've been keeping that faithfully since the interruption of prophecy, to be wiped out by the power of the outrageous behavior. I wanted to see the verb that led to that, but I don't want to find the page again, so I'm opening the actual book. Yeah, it is necessary for the customary values to be wiped out. You get how radical this is? To be wiped out by the power of the outrageous behavior and of the era of the footsteps of the Mashiach. It's all the midrash, ikvada, the chutzpah de ikvada de Mashiach. It's a huge literature, or a semi-huge literature. It's all going to be wiped out. And from the energy, or not all going to be wiped out, that which is good in it will go on to the next, but we won't hold on to the stuff that are just, there's just, it's no point. From the energy of this decomposition of old outer forms, there will emerge a new light shining with overflowing brilliance, as pure as heaven itself, and nations will walk towards your light, Israel, and kings will walk towards the brilliance of your dawning, and you, Israel, will be called by a new name in which God's mouth will designate, and that's a quote from Yeshayahu. So that's, let's see if we can find just the, yeah, he wrote that in 1917, this is the notebook he wrote towards the end of the First World War. He was in London. The world is breaking down, but now we're going to create Lecha Yikra Shem Chadash. You will be called a new name, Asher Pi Hashem Yekavenu. God's mouth will utter, will express. All right, so that's piece number 2 in Ruchi Ebner's masterful work, The Torah of Tomorrow. And you can see why. This is extraordinarily revolutionary. No rabbi in the world wants to touch this. That's not a fair statement, but it's really way beyond, way beyond. Okay, so now the next piece that I think from her is 47 and 54 and 100. Okay, so let's just get, here it is in the Hebrew. It's a selection from Orot Teshuvah, chapter 14, and the English says like this. The heading for it is using every modality for raising the spirit. That's every modality, using it to raise the spirit. Everything helps raise the human spirit to higher tshuva. All of Torah, all of science, every physical ability, all knowledge of the world and of life, every human interaction, every trait of honesty and justice. Everything raises the human spirit to a higher tshuva. And when a person feels the fear of inner shame, a defilement of body and soul, the person must, using every capacity they have, meticulously examine all the aspects of their shortcomings and correct them, tshuva, and must not engage in this process in a superficial way. For then you're just going to add descent to the descent. But with deep, penetrating attention and pure spiritual courage. Where's the punchline? No, that's it. You can't do it in a superficial way. It needs to be done in a way that's, hold on, in a way that's deep, penetrating attention and with real courage. So I bless us that we're able to do this, because it means we can really grow. And we also have an extraordinary blessing that everything in the world, every modality participates in raising human spirit to higher tshuva. So may we be blessed to reach the fulfillment of raising the human spirit to higher tshuva. Venomar.
Amen.
Amen.
So then, a few pieces later, it's right. Here's a piece. It's one of my favorite pieces. It's translated in earlier. Discover your own wholeness. Do not adopt the solutions of others. That's strong advice. Rav Kook wrote like this. He wrote this in Yafo. This is in Yafo, 1911, 1912, before the First World War. From our own inner tendencies, we must recognize what content we must bring from potentiality to actuality in the world. Each one of us has something that we need to bring from potentiality to actuality. And let us always be happy with our portion in life and embrace this energetically, bringing what we're to bring from potentiality to actuality. And if we should sense that our disposition is made up of a number of conflicting tendencies, we must not pay attention. For most people, one tendency cancels out the other, and conclude that this also applies to our case. He says we should not, we're not to do that. We have to respect each tendency, even if they're conflicting. Because if we do that we cancel one out of the other, we will then destroy a huge portion of our selfhood with our own hands. The way we have to understand the conflicting tendencies within us, instead, our reasoning should be that since containing opposite streams is indeed the nature of our soul, it then follows that we are capable of unifying within ourselves matters that most people stay separate, and that the fulfillment of our assigned lot in life depends precisely on this, uniting all the parts, all our varied and opposing tendencies into harmonious wholeness. I really want to bless us that we're able to unite all our parts and all our varied opposing tendencies into harmonious wholeness. And this formula applies to everything in our life, to our practical labors, our understanding of Torah and wisdom, our personal feelings, the patterns of our character. For the ultimate universal principle is that a person's inner self-recognition is primary, And later, external recognition, which is also needed, will come from his environment and from the world as a whole. Let's see if we can easily find the Hebrew of that. Let's see. Let's read this one in Hebrew real fast, because it's, well, actually, I want to end there, but the 100th one is very short. האדם צריך להכיר מנטיוניו הפנימיות את התוכן שהוא צריך להוציא מן הכוח הפועל. From our inner nitiyot, we need to know what is ours to bring from potential to manifestation, and וישמח תמיד בחלקו. We have to be happy that this is for us. ויחזיק בו בכל תוקף, hold on strong. אם מרגיש שיש לו תכונה מורכבת מכמה נטיות הפכיות, we think that our character is made up from a number of opposing tendencies. Al yasim el libo, don't worry about it. The fact that other people say, oh no, these are opposing, these can't be together. Other people have that. Don't think it's also like that with you. We lose with our own hands a huge portion of our essence. But you should come to the understanding that since this is the way we are, we have these varying tendencies. You were able to unify it. We have the ability to unify it. That which most people are separated. And our fulfillment in life comes בהשלמתם של כל החכים וכל הנטיות השונות והמנוגדות. That's what our self-fulfillment depends on, bringing together all of those. And this is true in action, this is true in Torah and wisdom, in the feelings of the soul and the character traits. Hiklal hakol hu. The rule for everything is, here's the sentence, sherosh davar tiyeh hakarato hapnimit. That the first primary thing is to have our inner understanding. Well, here you said, but we're here to unite all this, and then the outer union of it will come. And the whole world will participate in this, and the world will be so much more unified with each person bringing their full being into manifestation, and will really have a vastly improved and closer to perfected world. B'mehera b'yameinu v'nomar.
Amen.
Amen.
All right, so now piece number 100. This is the last piece in that she's put, and it's number 100. It's found in the Shmone Kvatzim, and it has the title Awakening. I'm going to read her English and then the Hebrew. It's a short one, but it's one of the where Rav Kook really gives expression to his soul in extraordinary ways. Awaken, my soul. Awaken into your divine magnificence. Do not negate yourself. Do not humble yourself in front of stubborn, haughty ones who cannot grasp your spiritual processes and the delight of your soul in her own pure imaginings, in her sublime yearning for exquisite exaltedness, divine exaltedness, and for honesty, truth, and purity. Know your worth and keep on rising. And the Hebrew, I have it, it's better. Anyways, it's not clearly written here. It's not, Hit'orari nafshi, awaken my nefesh. Hit'orari begdula ha'elohit shelcha, awaken to the great God, your great godliness. Al titbatli, don't self-negate. The al tichnei mipnei geim sorerim, and don't submit before sort of stormy waves she'inam yocholim lahasig, that cannot comprehend et halach ruchecha, the way, the journey of your spirit, the adnut nafshecha, and the refinement of your nefesh, betziyurea hatehorim, with its pure tziyuri depictions, ube'arigata ha'elyona, and by its highest yearning or weaving, El Hasiguv Ha'adin, to the highest refinement, Besiguv Elohi, to a divine exaltation, Ve'el Yosher, to integrity, Ha'emet, truth, Va'atoar Ha'ne'eratz, and to this desired, beloved, or purity. Da et erkecha, know your worth, know who you are, you're a divine soul. Vehitromemi, and rise up, rise up, rise up. And now back to the Hebrew, or her English. Awaken, my soul, awaken into your divine magnificence. Do not negate yourself. Do not humble yourself in front of stubborn, haughty ones who cannot grasp your spiritual processes and the delight of your soul in her pure imaginings, in her sublime yearning for exquisite exaltedness, divine exaltedness, for honesty, truth, and purity. Know your worth and keep on rising. Amen. Amen. This is really rough. Kook telling the world to step up, to really be the godly beings we are. And I really want to honor it and extort. As you can see, that this translation is not just, it's not like a translation of, it's a presentation of, in English, of really what the soul, and she's a linguist, so it's like the language is very it's great.
Right.
Feldheim is distributing it, and it's Mosaic Press, and I'm sure you can find it.
Did you put a link on our WhatsApp?
Well, I don't have one yet. I don't know if there is yet. I just got the first copies.
Gotcha.
She's giving a Beit Arav to have here. So, all right.
Is this the book form of that collection Glimmerings that you gave me a copy of many years ago?
Is that what it's called? No, I have this, or one, maybe. Is it?
No.
Yep.
If you remember, Rabbi, you gave me like maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. But it says, did I give you this one song, the Torah?
It was called Glimmerings.
No, I think the
What you gave
Glimmerings
me
is something else then, because I don't think.
Okay.
I have a vague memory of what you're referring to. I think it's something else.
Yeah, maybe that was a working title.
No, they did. She gave. This is the draft I have, and what's still called one song.
Okay.
Glimmerings is whatever it is. Anyways, thank God that Torah Rav Kook is coming out in all the languages, and English being the universal language. It's a good sign. So, tomorrow again, Beit Rav, and it's Erev Shabbos, so we'll do Parshat Shavua and maybe something more from this. But, and Parshat Shavua related things to that. So, Erev Tov and Shalom and Nitra'eh, and I'm glad to be able to share this Torah with you from Rav Kook's. Rav Kook's. Anyways, it is a blessing that we have this Torah and to be able to share it from the place from whence it lived is special. So thank you so much, L'chaim, 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 and may our learning and yearning bring immediate victory to Tzva Haganah Yisrael and the return of all the Chatufim and healing of all the wounded, comforting of all the mourners, and really the elevation of all the holy souls and bring us to the end of the war.
Are you when you do the parsha, are you at all going to bring in the Nazir? Because it's the parsha for the Nazir.
When with what? When?
No, like I'm curious about why he chose to become a Nazir and.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy to tell you all about it. I feel now I'm spending a time here that this place is basically it was their home. This is where they were.
Yeah.
Rav Kook, and then all the years that Rav Kook was alive, the Nazir was here majority of his time, except once he got married, he went home, but otherwise he was just here. The two of them were living here, and I really feel their presence, and I'd be happy to.
So he lived with Rav Kook's family, or
no? He ended up getting married. He was betrothed to someone, engaged, and then World War I broke out. They couldn't come back, and so but they stayed waiting for each other. And then he married her. Rav Kook brought her to Israel, and they got married. They got married here at Beit Rav. Rav Kook did the wedding. But before that, until that, there was, I don't know whether it was a matter of a year, 2 years, months, I don't know, until that process, the Nazir slept here in the Beis Medrash.
Because there's not that many modern Nazirim, ever.
There weren't any. He was like a unique person. And he didn't do it as a vow.
Did he travel with him? Did he travel with him?
I think so. I think in the Masa Moshavot, I'm pretty sure he went along. But he was with them almost all the time. So I don't know about the journey of the settlements. I'd have to check.
Because you had said one time that he just stayed at home. He was like.
That was from 1948 to 1960. Yeah, no, it was after Rav Kook passed away. Afterward, Rav Kook he organized the learning circle and the yeshiva. Him and Tzvi Yehuda here at Beit Rav, that they put out this document, the Ma'agalei Chug HaRaya, in the circle of learning Torah Rav Kook, and that's what we're convening here in our own way, and as a offspring. But the Nazir is very. He's the two of them. It's awesome, beyond awesome.
Did the Nazir talk about why he became a Nazir, or did he write?
Yeah, there's not. It basically he was. He wanted just his own spiritual elevation, his spiritual, lots of things. But it was basically in his. One thing is purity, Nazirut, Nevuah. It was seen as a stepping stone to prophecy. And so he was cultivating his sense of prophecy. Prophecy means God, hearing God. It's not like, it's going to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, and so it was part of his.
So did Rav Kook encourage anyone to become a Nazir? Because
no, and Rav Kook would not have. The only person he would only the Nazir, and he was supportive of the Nazir, but he didn't. Nobody else was on that level.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, sure, Shauna.
Hi, Yaakov.
It's me.
Yeah,
up?
you're in Israel or you're?
We live here.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, you guys know each other
Baruch
from.
Hashem.
Yeah, they used to
Oh,
come
that's
to
very good. So
Baltimore.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave here. I want to make sure the door's open. But
Okay.
you
I have to
guys
go
didn't know
across the
Ruchi, right?
street because I live across the street from him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hi.
And you guys know each other.
But, you know,
Okay, well, that's all right. Hello.
Hey. Wow, that's so you're right across from Beit Harav?
Yes. How
Wow.
are you?
Wow, wow. I did not know where you had gone. I knew you didn't come to Baltimore anymore.
Right, here we are.
we started going to Muncie for many
Oh,
years.
wow, wow, wow. How long ago did you make Aliyah?
7 years.
Wow. Boy, time goes really fast. And,
Here it goes very fast.
yeah, and you guys both retired and then decided to make Aliyah?
Yes.
Beautiful. We have a daughter. One of our daughters lives in Efrat.
Ah, okay.
And you have two daughters? You had,
Two daughters.
and are they in Israel also? Or?
No, they're in the States.
Okay. So you come back occasionally.
Yeah, hopefully.
Uh,
How was Aaron?
and they come to you or they visit you?
They haven't been in a while since before COVID, but
Yeah.
we're hoping that we could take care of that.
Right. I think that's the last time we were in Israel also. We're hoping to go more often now.
So you're visiting.
No, that's
Mm.
Baltimore.
We're still in Baltimore and we're trying to sell our house. It's not being picked up, like this. So
Yeah.
and then we have a lot of kids here and grandkids still.
Yeah.
So we'll have a base here and then we want to come to Israel for a couple of months out of the year. And then we have another daughter who married an Aussie. And so she's in Sydney with her kids. So we sort of go around, like in the winter, we go to, because it's summer in Australia, get away from, be a snowbird,
Yeah,
a far
right.
snowbird.
That's great.
And then Israel, like for the, I think the vision is to be in Israel for the high holidays, Sukkot, Hanukkah, and then go to Australia. Last time it was really hard traveling, so I'm hoping I can get my koyach back to be able to travel more.
Well, Australia is a
Oh,
long way away.
yeah. When I was a little younger, it wasn't so bad. As I got older, it's like, oof, not so good. And we're not quite at the financial level where I can afford business class and first class. So.
Yeah. Like my Yaakov's cousin is from Australia.
Oh,
And
wow.
we were talking about, I'd love to see Australia. It's on my bucket list.
It is definitely a gorgeous place.
And
Gorgeous,
she
gorgeous.
said, well, you should travel business class. You'll be fine. I'm like,
Yeah, but it's a
right.
lot of money. It's a fortune. We're like both retired now.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, we got bumped up on one of our flights and it was amazing. It was like, oh, this is great. This is what I dreamed about. But anyway, hopefully we'll see you in Israel. That would be awesome. I want to
Hopefully.
come to visit Beit Harav.
Good. We're
Well, let us know.
1 minute away.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
next door.
Amazing. So so you've known Yitzhak for a long time?
Well,
Yeah.
since we've been here.
How long have you lived there?
In this apartment, it'll be a year.
Oh, fairly recent.
Yes.
There's
Because
a huge.
it was so close that we started going there. So
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
yeah.
I've never been there, so I'd love to visit, and we get to see you. There's a lot of Baltimore people in Ramat Beit Shemesh and
right.
Efrat. And then do you have any contact? Did you know Debbie Howarth?
No.
Yeah, she's in there's a few Baltimore people in Nachlaot too.
Well, we're close to Nachlaot.
Yeah. That's what I looked on the map when I looked up Beit Harav. I can't believe I've never been there. But yeah, there's there's some people I think that were here after you, like the Gerstenfelds are in Nachlaot, and Debbie Howarth, who lived around the corner from me, and she teaches a lot. She's a big Talmidei Chachama,
Uh-huh.
and she retired from the government. Like you guys both worked for the federal government, right?
Right.
Yeah. So she retired from the FBI and then went right to Israel.
Yeah,
And
that's
Levine's, Malka and Baruch Levine live in Nachlaot. And Nechama Wells, I don't know if you met her. Nancy Wells.
no.
Oh, yeah. And the shul is really different. It's like the old timers. Us old timers have mostly left,
Oh,
and it's a few new people. It's a smaller shul than before.
really?
Yeah. And Rabbi Goldberger's still there, but his two sons are like kind of moving up to take over. They're gonna have to revitalize it because it's not like it was.
Oh, really?
But we're still here. We're still there. I don't go to shul that much, but we're still in our house and trying to sell it.
Good
And
luck.
and
Yeah.
downsized, just downsized because it's a lot of house and it's only two of us now.
Well, we had a major problem with that.
We did.
Well, it was a 6-bedroom house.
Oh, sounds like
We're
yeah.
down to 2 bedrooms,
Oh wow.
basically. So,
Yeah, that's my big fear is like we bought a condo and we rented it. It was like an investment thing. And so we probably will move into that while we're in Baltimore. And it's only 2 bedrooms. We're going from a like also 5-6 bedroom house to like with gardens and greenhouse and orchard. And yeah, it's beautiful here. But it's a lot of work now. So that's great that you guys went to made Aliyah. I would love to figure out how we could do it, but because we have so many kids scattered all over, and we have 10 grandkids here. Yeah, I lose count, and 3 kids here, so it's a big base here for us.
We have to go to this year.
All right, well, it's great. I'm so glad
Regards to Aaron.
Yeah, thank
that's
you.
good to see
And
you.
In
hopefully-
regards to Rabbi Goldberger. Goldberg.
yeah, when I see him, his son lives across the street. But I will definitely tell him. And it's so nice to see you both. You look.
Well, it's good to see you.
It's not a great picture, but I can see your beautiful eyes, Risa.
Oh, you're so wonderful. Thank you. Thank
And
you. Well, we're
okay,
waiting for you.
so you guys are in this class. You're going to be coming to the class.
Yaakov will.
Okay, great. He's very inspiring. And Rav Kook it's amazing. I've always wanted to learn Rav Kook. This is my first experience.
Well,
Yeah.
then we'll see more of you.
Thank you. Yes. Okay.
Regards to Aaron.
I will tell him he's in West Virginia. We have a little piece of land in West Virginia that he's shifting his gardening out there
Ah,
from
okay.
here. So he can't not have a piece of land, but the condo doesn't have anything. Yeah. All right. Well, Laila Tov to you.
Laila Tov.
Okay. Good to see you both. Bye-bye.
Why do this?